Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And I'm Jennifer. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back, guys. Today we're gonna do a drill with me, and I'm gonna diamond paint and just run my mouth. So if I sound like if I if I go all over the place today, it's because I didn't write down. I usually write down what kind of write and like make, little notes of what has happened this week. And I didn't do that this week. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I think I just kind of didn't because I thought I'd remember. I probably will, knowing me. So, but we're going to diamond paint. You can get whatever, whatever kit you're working on, um, or cross stitch, listen to me go all over the place and just talk. So I hope everyone is doing well and making out okay. Um, we're doing pretty good. We finally, okay, I know I've been saying this for the last month or whatever, finally got some kind of a routine down for the boys for schooling. Thank God, because let me tell you, that was fun just trying to just get that straight. And of course, it didn't help matters because I was kind of putting it off, and I I'm one of those ones that likes to procrastinate or just put stuff off and till the last second. Now, last week, um, I gave the boys a week off. I was only intending on giving them Monday off because they especially little dude, he just kind of got to the point that he just didn't feel he could care less about his schoolwork. That's the way it felt. That's the way it, you could just tell by the look on his face, and that's the way it ended up being. So I had every intentions of just taking, Monday and just um, letting him kind of relax and, uh, reset himself, I guess. That's what I want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it for a kid, but let him, just goof off, play hooky or whatever, and ended up being the whole week because, let's see, it says all the symbol, because he ended up number one with hives. He, I don't know where, why. I'm not sure, how that happened, but he came out the other day and looked at me. Um, I was, I don't even remember what I was doing now. And he pulled his pant leg up and he looked at me and he said, "Mommy." I said, "What?" And he had broke out on his leg. So I gave him some Benadryl and left him alone. And he kept telling me that he didn't feel the greatest. And I thought, oh, great, this is just what I need. But not sure why he broke out. And again, I checked everything. I checked, I literally went through his room, pulled his sheets off, um, then came in here and did the same thing to my room because when he gets up, he comes in here and stays in here and plays on the Switch or watches, YouTube or Netflix or something. And I took the sheets off of my bed just in case. And he hasn't broken out anymore. So that's a good thing. I'm not sure what that was. It could be just one of those, random things. Not sure. So he, between that and then he started complaining that his leg was bothering him. So I thought, okay, it's growing pains. I'm just going to let it go, whatever. And he gave him some Tylenol for that and thought, okay, well, he was still complaining about it a couple of days later. So I thought, okay. And I, gave him some more Tylenol and then checked him again to make sure that he hadn't broken out. And he just kept telling me his leg hurt. Then later on that night, he came out, Mommy, I got a Charlie horse. Okay. So I checked. He kept telling me he had a Charlie horse. And I checked. And I didn't feel anything. I thought, okay. So I had him come, basically, lay down or whatever, sit down or whatever, and I put the heating pad on him. He hasn't complained anymore, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that he's good with that, that he's all right, because he hasn't really, said anything else in the last couple of days about his leg. So I'm kind of hoping that he that it was just, growing pains or something, which I think it was. But when it comes to him, he does get a little extreme when it comes to pain, I guess. I don't know. It's just the way he is. And I think he does that just for attention. I thought it was at one point, but I'm not sure. But now, I mean, he seems like he's okay. He's been okay for, the last couple of days. So I'm kind of hoping that's all that is. So, um, it's just, one of those things. And of course, it's been quiet here. We haven't really done a whole lot. I finally got my vacuum cleaner to work. Thank goodness. So I vacuumed and we had an extermination Thursday, and I did, normal, whatever that is, whatever you do for that. And and I can tell we're all getting kind of getting on everybody's nerves, I guess. I've been snapping at Miranda and, off and on all week. I don't usually let things bother me as much as I have been lately, and I think that's why, because we're all, stuck in the house and so forth. But an example, they went Wednesday, her and her boyfriend John went to the grocery store for me. And mind you, I don't usually get upset or get irritated if they can't get what they need to get, or if the things that I put on the list they couldn't get, or what have you. So I can't remember now exactly what it was, but I oh, I know what it was. I had wrote down oatmeal. Now, I like the Quaker oatmeal with maple and brown sugar. Well, I went in to make dinner that night, and I happened to look up in the cabinet because I was pulling out, I think it was a can of vegetables or something. And I was like, what is this big tote or this big tub? And Miranda looked at me and she says, it's oatmeal. I said, what kind of oatmeal? And she told me. And I said, wait a minute. I told you to get maple and brown sugar oatmeal. Well, she said, Mom, they didn't have it. And I was like, okay, so you buy the this big tub of oatmeal. Well, it wasn't only that. Now, mind you, like I said, I don't get upset about, somebody substituting anything at all whatsoever. I don't get upset about that. But obviously, having cabin fever, I kind of did. And, I could tell we were getting on everybody's nerves. So I kind of snapped. Well, then, a couple days later, I was making scrapple and eggs for dinner. Yeah, I'm one of those ones that likes, breakfast food at every once in a while for dinner. And so I was trying to figure out where the butter was. And I like the tub of butter. It doesn't have to be a big tub. It doesn't have to, I'm not picky when it comes to that. I don't like the sticks. I can't use them. Only reason is because when I lived at home with my parents, they used them and they were a pain in the ass. Excuse my language. To use. Just because. And I know, I shouldn't complain. I shouldn't, make a big deal. And I did. I don't usually. I don't know why I did. Like I said, it could have been cabin fever. Who the heck knows? And Miranda's standing here at the door, so she knows I feel bad about it, but it was the point. Everything was getting on my nerves. I was irritated. I didn't care. I just didn't care. and I think that was the only. I think there was something else, and besides that, I don't even remember now what else, I was irritated about from, when they went to the grocery store for me. I'm not sure. And so I told both her and her boyfriend, John, I said, look, I said, it's not you, it's me. I'm irritated. Um, I think I'm getting cabin fever, so forth, blah, blah, blah. So we just took it and left it at that. And, but I could tell that I was getting annoyed. And as proof of this, okay, you guys remember me telling you about that Justin's school was not communicating about where to turn anything in for him and how to keep up with his classes and so forth. Well, it's Monday, I got a phone call, and I'm not sure who the guy was, but he was from the school system or from Justin's school. And, he called and he was like, is everything okay? Justin hasn't turned anything in, so forth and so on. And I went on and I explained. Well, the guy kind of got, I don't know, I don't want to say, well, yeah, he did. He kind of got rude with me. And I, believe me, I bit my tongue 3 times. Finally, I got to a point because he kept telling me, well, it's kind of not your responsibility. It's his, so forth and so on. I get that. Okay. I totally get that. I mean, yes, Justin's, 18, whatever. I get it. But what they don't seem to realize is Justin, there's only one laptop in this house. And our internet is kind of goofy. And, well, I explained this. I said, look, I said, Justin has been trying to do his work. And I said, but there is nothing to tell us where to turn it in. There's nothing to, we haven't gotten any kind of instructions from anybody to tell us how to do anything. I said, the principal, kind of said everybody's doing Google Classroom and so forth. Well, finally, he tells me that they're not all doing Google Classroom, but he has a way for him to do his work. And I said, okay, how is he going to do his work? And he says, I can bring you, uh, they give you a choice. You can, do it, digital or excuse me, you can do it online or you can do it, they give you paper packets. And I told him, I said, well, I get the paper packets and I understand the whole concept. I said, but, you know, nobody's really, I said, none of his teachers have really communicated with him or anything. Um, I said, it's very, very, um, disheartening because his teachers haven't given him, any kind of support whatsoever, haven't fully explained this process. And I said, I've been sitting here for the past whatever to try to get some kind of um, um, I don't want to say understanding, I guess. I don't, trying to get some kind of, um, really? Are you serious right this minute? Hold on, guys. Trying to get some kind of uh, communication with somebody from the school to tell us um, what he needs to do. And I said, and again, nobody has really been, communicating with us. I said, I've emailed the principal. The principal tells me, do it this way. And then, it's just like Justin's left out in the open, out in the lurch to figure it out on his own. And I said, and, he's getting irritated because number one, he doesn't want to fail. He wants to just, get out of high school altogether, be it, tempted, understandably, he's not going to actually graduate, but still. And so, of course, this guy that called Monday, he acted like he could really give two flying whatever. And he's like, well, do you want me to get a teacher to call? And I said, yes, it would be nice because I don't know. My son doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't want to fail. He wants to end high school. He wants to, be done with this. And I said, and nobody has provided him with any kind of guidance whatsoever. So finally, his vice principal called me yesterday, and I explained to him the situation. And I told him, I said, look, I said, I was kind of rude on Monday with the other person that called. I said, and I wasn't rude until he kind of got, rude with me. And I said, but I'm trying to explain the situation and nobody wants to listen. So he says, well, can you tell me what's going on? And I said, number one, we are okay. I said, number two, I said, yes, we do have computer access. I have internet. I said, but Justin can't find where to turn papers in or, work in. There's not any kind of instruction. He's done some of the work, but he's gotten to the point where he's like, why should I do the work if I don't have any way to turn, I don't know where to turn it in. And I said, none of his teachers have been willing to email me or any kind of communication with me or him to tell us what to do. I said, he's getting to the point where he just doesn't care. And I said, but he also doesn't want to fail his last year of high school. And so the vice principal came up with the uh, with an option, and he says, I can bring you all the work that he's missed or that that came out when we started this. That way he can get it caught up, and then I'll even send the packet for this week along with it. And and I kind of, I told him, I said, please don't take this the wrong way. I said, but I need to understand something. And he said, sure. And I said, why couldn't somebody do this at the beginning? And he says, I really don't know. He says, we just assumed that, you know, and I said, well, nobody, I said, again, we've told certain people, told him, I said, I even told the principal that we were having issues. And she kind of just, left it like, okay, whatever. And I said, I'm just, it's frustrating, which it is. I mean, it's very frustrating. Trust me, believe me. Oh my God. So finally, anyway, long story short, we got all his packets. Let me tell you something. Those things are like this thick. This thick. Seriously. He's got a packet. He gave me a stack this thick. I was like, holy crap. So yeah. So Justin was, I don't want to say he was excited because what 18-year-old is excited to do schoolwork? I certainly wasn't. So today he's going to work on them, and then I'm going to email all his work to his teachers, and that way they can, no, he's not going to get graded for it. They are, as long as he turns the stuff in, he gets credit. So, which he thought he was going to get graded for it. He was like, I'm going to fail. I'm already failing. I said, dude, really? So he knows now that he's not going to actually get a little letter grade, but he will be just turning everything in and getting credit for it, which is a good thing because this whole process has been so kind of confusing for everybody. I don't know about anybody else, but if I don't have any more gray hairs on in my hair before this is over and done with, okay. Or I'm going to be starting to drink. That's how bad it's gotten. Believe me. It's just, and Skylar, he's, we're playing catch up on everything because of I gave, both of them a week off to just try to get back into the swing of it. And so now he's playing catch up this week along with the work he has to do now. And then his teacher is sending me a novel. I guess there's going to be, I guess it's part of the next reading lesson. And so she had asked me if I wanted digitally or in a hard copy. And I told her, I said, well, for him, I would prefer it to be, a hard copy, because that way he can, he's not into, I guess, reading books off. He's just used to having a book in his hand. He'd rather hold the book in his hand. I'm one of those ones too, but I also like, using my Kindle and stuff. So we're just waiting on that. And also they're going to start a, I guess a video chat with some of the students. And I guess they're just, gonna hang out, and yeah, whatever. And she said, his teacher said, that was, so a bunch of them, I guess a bunch of the teachers came up with the idea. And she said, as long as there's an adult in the room. And I said, well, I'm always in the room with him when he's doing his work. And so that's not going to be a problem. So, and they're also starting science. I think she said they were going to start it this week. I'm not even sure. So I've got to I got on the Google Classroom yesterday. I just haven't looked at it. So yeah, we're just kind of behind this week, and it's my own fault, just because I thought they would need a break. And I think I just needed to get myself together and get some kind of, and I don't want to, well, yeah, get a kind of routine. And we finally figured it out. So I told them last night how this was going to go. And of course, 18-year-old kids, they act like, oh, whatever, it's all right. But I know Justin's kind of glad, because at least he can do his schoolwork. And and it was funny because I was looking at his packets last night, and I asked him, I said, dude, he said, what? And I said, you know geometry? He says, I don't know. I said, how do you not know if you know geometry? I said, were you in a geometry class before they closed school? I don't remember. Um, okay. Yeah, he's got a packet that is is geometry homework. I hope he knows how to do it. If not, yeah. Oh well. I told him, I said, don't ask me for help, because I don't know how to do it. And he just started laughing. He says, Mom. I said, I'm serious. I said, I don't know how to do anything like geometry, trig, uh, calculus. Uh, I said, the only kind of math I know how to do is regular basic math. And I said, don't ask me. And he just looked at me and he says, well, I don't know how to do much of it either. And I said, well, obviously they think you do. I said, if you're getting a geometry packet, I said, dude, he just looked at me like, so yeah. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to do if I need help? I said, don't look at me. I said, I don't know how to do any of this. And he was like, oh my gosh, my mother just, so that's going to be interesting. We'll see. But, yeah. And I haven't done really a whole lot. Ugh. I haven't done a whole lot of diamond painting like last week. I didn't either, but I'm trying to remedy that. I'm trying to divide my time up. It's been hard, and but as you can see, I'm moving along now. I'm on the third row from the bottom, so hopefully I won't be much longer on this painting. But it's been fun. I'm enjoying it. Just haven't really sat down and put drill to canvas. It's just been one of those. Now that I think we finally got our routines down, sort of, kind of, I think we can. Now I can start working on dividing my time up between stitching um, and diamond painting, and making sure I get everything done. Just kind of, making sure I have some kind of free time somewhere, because mommies need their free time, believe me. Let's see what else has been going on. Goodness. Well, it rained its butt off uh, most of the weekend. Let me tell you, that was fun. Uh, I wasn't expecting it to rain all weekend, but it did. And we just kind of hibernated, and that was basically it. And I started binge watching The Flash. Don't ask. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because I started watching The Arrow. Now, I don't want to say I like The Arrow. I don't I don't want to say I don't like these kinds of TV shows, because I mean, I kind of sort of do, but I just don't watch them all the time. And I don't even know why I started watching it, to be truthful. I can't even remember. But um anyway, I started watching it and finished that, which I didn't like the last season at all whatsoever. I cried my butt off. I blubbered the whole flipping time. Um, then I started watching The Flash, and I was like, okay. So well, first I started watching Legends of Tomorrow. That was kind of my first. That was only because I liked that show a little more than I did um, Arrow or even The Flash. Now, I couldn't get into The Flash the first time, and I'm really not into it now. But it's good background, especially when I'm cross stitching. And so I've been watching that. And I was sitting there last night and I started watching, I think it was the third season. I can't remember. No, I think it's the second season. I can't remember. Don't ask me. Anyway, long story short, I and Justin was out here and we had started watching it. And Justin looks at me and he says, "Do you know who that is?" No. He says, "Mom, look at that person again." Come to find out, the guy that played Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter starred in one season. And I was like, really? And it doesn't even look like him, truthfully. I guess because of the way that, he had to look to portray the part. And I was like, holy crap. Okay. And I was like, okay then. It was kind of funny because I didn't recognize him. And then when Justin said something, I had to sit there and really, really look at the guy to actually, uh, to actually recognize him. And I mean, I was squinting my eyes. Yeah. So yeah, I've been watching that. It's kind of, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the Flash. Don't ask me why. I'm okay. And I've been watching that and kind of, um, well, I guess watching, listening, whatever you want to call it. So, and it's been passing time and so forth. But um, my next thing, I don't know yet. I'm still, trying to figure out what I'm going to do, what I'm going to watch next. Um, there was a show that I liked, and I can't remember what it was that I want to watch, but I can't remember what it was. So I'm gonna do a search on Netflix to see what I can find. And then there is a movie that I want to watch. It's called Extraction. It's got what's his name? Chris Hemsworth in it. So I think I'll watch that at some point too, because that was on there. So yeah, that's gonna be one I'm gonna watch. I don't know what that's about. I haven't really had time to look and see what that's about yet. So um he plays, I guess, some kind of special forces kind of dude or something. Um I was looking at I don't want to say trailer, but I was looking at the picture that they have on Netflix for it, and it looks like it's going to be pretty good. We'll see. So let's see what else we got going on here. Um, oh, I gave my daughter a kind of a goal. Uh, I taught Miranda how to diamond paint. Well, she hasn't been doing that a lot lately. She's been kind of, like me. Well, not like me, but she's not really sat down and really diamond painted lately. Um, I told her, she and I kind of made a deal, I guess, to for her to try to do at least 3 sections, not in one day. Lord knows, I wouldn't. There's no way. If I couldn't even do 3 sections in one day, you got to be crazy. So I told her, I said, try to make a goal for yourself and go from there. And she came out the other day and she handed me, because she has parchment paper. She wanted me to put parchment paper on it like I do for mine. And she came out, she handed me the parchment paper. She says, I finished a section. I was like, okay, just make a pile and, you can keep those. And she's like, well, I want another diamond painting. And I said, well, you got to make some kind of an effort to at least work on it every, day or whatever. Of course, I'm not the perfect example, right? So she's going to try that. And I'm going to let her pick one. She wanted Daughter of Peace or Daughter of Honor or whatever Pocahontas is from the Diamond Art Club, but I don't think they have that one anymore. I'm not sure. She wanted that one, so I'm going to look. I know somebody told me that it was possibly coming back, so I'm going to look and see. I don't know yet. Who knows? I've been hearing things, but I don't know yet. And if I spoke out of turn, my fault. I'm sorry. So, and she also wanted the Nightmare Before Christmas one too. I forget what that one's called. So I told her she could I would get those for her, but she's got to work on the diamond paintings at least, you know. Every day. She doesn't have to do a section a day, but she could at least, we'll see. So, and somebody asked me if this was a tiger. No, it's a leopard. Trust me. Um, Trying to think what else is going on before I say I'm going to end it. And I don't think I can think of anything else, guys. I don't think there's anything else, guys. So with that, I'm just going to end it here. And I hope everyone has a great week. And I will see you all next time.